Good afternoon, everyone. This is Marisha talking to you right here from Amchi, Mumbai, the wedding school. And I'm very excited because it's my favorite day. That's right, Friday. And it is 4 p.m. and I'm all set to spend a little time with you, this time with so much to talk about. I'm not sure if time is going to do justice to what I'm going to be speaking about today, but this is one topic where I think I'm going to be having a lot of inputs from people from the Indian wedding fraternity. So all my friends who are having a few minutes off and are, spending some time on Facebook, please feel free to write your comments and remarks as I talk about the futuristic approach of ICWF. So I'm going to wait for a few of my friends to join in, and in the meantime I'm also hoping that all of you have had a wonderful week, and there's too much that has been happening at all levels, especially at political level and at national level. What has definitely excited me is how our Prime Minister has really done some remarkable work and really set an example. Whether it was back in 2014 with Swachh Bharat or it is now with Fit India. In fact, one of my very dear friends, Gitika Ganjudhar, the leading MC of our country, had actually played the role of the Master of Ceremonies for this event. I saw, some glimpses of it. I'm sure most of us did catch up with the entire, speech and the entire event that was organized. But what a wonderful, remarkable move. Something so much truly required, especially for India, where we have stopped, or rather forgotten, or put a pause button on equating growth, which begins with the journey of health and fitness. So I'm really thrilled, and one more reason for me to respect our Prime Minister as to, in the midst of handling international issues and governing bodies and keeping us safe and secure and doing justice and trying to eradicate corruption, he still has the time to think for the nation and truly guide the youth as to what needs to happen next. And Fit India is just one of those many examples. So big hello to everyone who is joining us right here. And talking about the futuristic approach that our Prime Minister has, I don't think this could have been a more rewarding week for me, because I did experience a lot of that at ICWF. That's right, the International Convention of the Wedding Fraternity. It was in its 7th year this year. Fantastic journey. I have witnessed it. I have participated in it for the last 5 years, and I have to tell you this, friends, every year it is just getting bigger in terms of content, in terms of the kind of turnout that you have. The participation this year had a whopping 674 people, largely wedding planners, and of course there were others, vendors as well, from the field of photography and videography to food experts to tourism boards. There was such a humongous participation, and there was so much of energy and excitement that I just couldn't contain myself. And I really felt that even if this convention had to be a 5-day convention, there would be so much more that you really want to cover. So, it was great. This year it was a 3-day convention which took place in Kolkata at IDC Royal Bengal, a new property. Fantastic property. I think it's really going to do a lot of good to a lot of these huge weddings and big scale weddings that take place largely in the east of India. I'm also hoping that our clients from the west and the south decide to travel to Kolkata. It's a beautiful property and has a story of its own. It has the best food that IDC is already known for. So, it started on a very lovely note. Overall, in the 3 days, I experienced a lot of knowledge sharing, networking, and new license that I could build, and I'm looking forward to taking that on. there was some entertainment and some fantastic entertainment to add to it. So much of talent out there. We also had a lovely showcase of the culture of Bengal. In fact, we had the core committee that was dressed up in the most authentic Bengali style, and oh my god, my heart really went out to them. So yeah, of course, we concluded with the Jiva Awards. I think the Great Indian Wedding Awards, a moment of recognition for lots of players from the fraternity. The awards were not just subjected to wedding planning. There was decor, there was venues, there was trousseau packing, there was invite making, there was makeup. There were so many recognitions that were given out with the sole aim of encouraging people to go out there and do their best and make themselves known that yes, I'm here, I'm making a difference, and you better watch out for me. Of course, my favorite was also for people who know me, all my friends, the crazy parties that we had post 10 p.m. When everyone decided to just drop their guards and just have a bit of fun, you know, with new friends, and giving company to those who had traveled from overseas to come and engage and get a hint of what you know, the Indian market is all about. So I'm going to quickly take you through 5 major takeaways that I had. Very honestly, guys, this is going to be a very tricky subject because creativity is very subjective. What could be my takeaway may be a little different from somebody else who attended the convention. Also, it is not going to be possible for me to do complete justice, you know, when I'm going to be talking on topics, because it was a very vast, you know, spectrum of subjects, issues, and new happenings that got addressed too. So I'm going to try my best. And I think my first major takeaway came from a subject that is really close to my heart, which is entertainment. So we had a session on design in entertainment, which was taken up by Luc Petit. He's from Belgium, and you know, as he's called, you know, the alchemist of performing arts. He's someone who has done a valuable contribution and taken entertainment and show direction to a new level altogether. My major takeaway from his session was I really felt that this aspect is neglected in a way, for which I will not just blame wedding planners. To a large extent, I would also want that there should be more onus of the millennial brides and grooms who are out there looking out for things constantly on Pinterest and Instagram, that they need to recognize that entertainment is a very big source of engaging and adding experiential value to one's function. I think there's not enough justice done to that, and there are both sides to be blamed. Entertainment in terms of agencies in India, in terms of the costumes that we use, in terms of the you know, kind of detailing that we get into, in terms of the training of the artists, we are not even remotely close to what one gets to see internationally. The other side is a reluctant client who is happy somewhere, and I'm going to be a little honest, although my partner has told me not to be honest, but the fact of life is a client is not so reluctant to spend on an A+ category designer lehenga, which is great, guys. I'm not trying to take business away, but I think the same amount of importance or a little less to begin with needs to be given to this space of designing entertainment, where you know, the inputs of a planner are valued, his or her vision for a particular event that he wants to create, especially when we have a lot of planners like us who are hardcore into thematic events. So you need a whole-rounded experience. You cannot just get into that space by providing a celebrity artist. That is not entertainment design, guys. So I'm hoping that this kind of a trend develops in India, because we have diverse cultures. We have beautiful, opulent costumes. There's color in our culture. If all of this had to be beautifully woven in together, with experts being recognized, with technicians being valued, I think we can just be able to give something far more engaging and top of the chart as far as entertainment is concerned. So that was a very inspiring session, and there was a great amount of participation from a lot of planners who came from non-metro and your 2-tier and 3-tier cities. Whether or not we can afford to bring in a Luke Petit is something that became a discussion towards the end of the session. One aspect is to be able to afford them. The other aspect is also to let the players in our country understand and grow more aware of what's happening around the world, because only when you know all of this, and you have knowledge sharing, can you even start dreaming that big. And that's the time you can start sounding more convincing to your clients that yes, this surely is going to be worth that extra buck. So scale up. That's my first takeaway. My second takeaway was really that the world is looking at us. That's right. Over the last 3 to 4 years, we have seen a phenomenal growth in the world, looking at us with a very different perspective. The way they've started giving importance to celebrations and festivals of India, it's mind-boggling. World tourism boards have suddenly, sort of woken up and given us our share of attention in the last few years. But what is very beautiful and commendable is cities and countries that one may not have immediately heard of as far as India is concerned. They are suddenly recognizing the potential that we hold in terms of the number game. They are suddenly more open and are far more respecting our culture and wanting to give us that perfect balance between what they can offer and what is the requirement of our clients, being Indians, being people with a certain way of wanting to conduct a certain ritual, a certain occasion where a lot of sensitive issues can get involved. We had a good amount of representation from different countries and tourism boards. Of course, Sanya was the main sponsor as well for ICWF, and we had a wonderful session where we got to know about this beautiful, beautiful place, which is in China. In fact, it's like the southern tip of China, and we were actually exposed to a lot of properties, the beautiful beaches, the wonderful scenic beauty that Sanya has to offer. And I think it would be interesting for somebody, to explore this to begin with for a social event. And as they experience us coming over more often, I'm sure they'll gear up and they'll be more open towards our requirements, which, as we know, as Indians, we are very demanding. So it would be a great opportunity and would be worth the effort of trying to explore it, either for a pre-wedding function or for a cocktail party or for an anniversary, and see how things go. And of course, go ahead and move out there and explore new destinations. Thailand is great, but there is more for us to see besides that. Sri Lanka also had got some time, and I think they did a great job. They put up a lovely presentation. They let us know more about it. Sri Lanka has, I think, seen a wave of ups and downs as far as Indian tourism goes, but I do see them having a very strong focus on us, and with regards to weddings, I think we have become a pet with everyone. So I'm just hoping that we're able to explore these places, because I do see them opening up to our requirements and being a little less fussy and more accommodating, which is something I think as planners we will always require. Of course, then there are our own venues. So that is my third takeaway, which is that besides looking out at world tourism, it was also a great platform at ICWF to look within, to look at cities, to look at states, to look at venues within our country, and why not? It's great to move international. Somehow our mentality as Indians has not changed, I have to admit this. Even for a client, the number of projects you have done internationally seems to be a big tick mark on a checklist of when they're hunting for a planner. But I don't understand that. It's great if it's explored with a purpose, but India itself has so much to offer, but we have a long journey ahead. Something that Mr. Samit Garg beautifully brought up in his session, which was totally focused on wedding tourism. So we had the Minister of Tourism from Madhya Pradesh who was there in the panel, and we had representation from Andhra Pradesh. The major focus was on Andhra and Madhya Pradesh, and there was Subhas Joseph who was talking about his experience of how IFA as a property is so welcomed across the globe, and when we try to imbibe and get the same support from government officials and from the private beings, it is not that easy. So my major takeaway from this session was the fact that you have to have a vision. It is no point cribbing and complaining. It is so vital that we act in a direction in which we want to take this industry. And I think Samit really led by example. Today, I'm so proud to share with my friends who could not make it to ICWF that they are actually the knowledge partners with the Madhya Pradesh tourism, and they are the ones who are now going to be effectively changing a lot of things in favor of the state, which is eventually going to lead to a lot of development of a lot of venues, cities in that state. It is eventually going to result in employment opportunities, and that is something that needs to get recognized, that this industry does provide a lot of employment to a lot of people across the country and across spectrums. Whether it is your designers or it is the smallest labor who is required, every kind of skill and unskilled labor is benefiting from this industry. So kudos to the entire team at ICWF for cracking this one. I think this is by far the first, at least that I know of, where you have somebody who is a body that is now going to be the knowledge partner and is going to be focused towards wedding tourism development. I think this will become a case study, and I'm looking forward to it actually getting implemented in other states to follow as well. In fact, talking about looking within, there is something that also caught the attention of everyone. Envy for some and pride for many. That was Mewar, a new venue that has come up in Udaipur. In fact, it just launched a couple of weeks back in the month of August itself, which is proudly owned and designed and is going to be run by none other than Rituraj sir. So I want to just congratulate you, sir, if you're live with us. We had a detailed discussion on it on stage and off stage, and makes me so proud to see something so spectacular come up, which is affordable. It meets the dreams and aspirations of bride and groom who want the palace feel. It takes you to one of the most beautiful cities that the country has, Udaipur. And of course, it has the fantastic design touch of Rituraj sir. So, you know, his truly doing some fantastic work. We're now going to get to see more of that. Sir, I like the fact that you want to retire and be in Udaipur, but I don't want to see you retire soon, because we truly look up to you and you are truly our source of energy. So hold on to those plans. Yes, educating and helping others evolve, that is great, but I want you to hold on to your plans. You ain't going anywhere. Sir, saying you and me met over there only for the very first time in Udaipur. Oh my God, yes. I did not realize. Yes, that is exactly where we met for the first time years ago. I was a little shy and into my little space back then, and now clearly you see I can talk a lot, sir. But it's always a pleasure meeting you, and I was amazed to see the kind of fan following that you always have everywhere you go. So yeah, Mewar it is for planners, in fact, who are with us over here. That is definitely a place that you want to look out for and want to explore as your next beautiful venue option in the state of Rajasthan. Another place that really stood out was Vizag, which was very beautifully promoted as a very good alternative to Goa, which is by far been a little bit of explored to an extent where I also end up facing a lot of my clients who are not as excited about going to Goa as they probably were about 5 years back. So Vizag is a great option. Yes, there are issues, but then issues are everywhere. Like I said, with the kind of attitude with which the ICWF has conducted the proceedings and the kind of vision they have, and that's why in fact I took this up as my topic of it having a futuristic approach, which is more positive, more focused, more solution driven, rather than just focusing on what are the issues. So yes, that was my third takeaway, and I'm going to move to my fourth one, which is something that 90% of the planners in this country will relate to, and that is creativity in our country needs recognition. Who is a wedding planner? A wedding planner is someone who has the skill of beautifully weaving in lots of agencies, lots of thought processes, lots of dreams of people together with a vision of his or her own, and is able to give the most spectacular experience to every single guest present at that particular day. Over the last several years, I have seen the term wedding planner get overexploited, so much so that today I feel the pinch, and I feel that it undermines the effort of a lot of good talent out there that is doing some spectacular work. Yes, we are into wedding management, but management is a part of the entire ball game. What we bring on board is also a lot of creativity, a lot of intellect, a lot of experience, something that probably can get a little sidetracked if your positioning is not right. On day 2, we had a wonderful session which was led by Ceci Johnson from United States, and she was then joined in by Yogesh Gajwani from Delhi. Both of them are into the wonderful space of designing invites. Whilst attending that session, my takeaway was not just the obvious that yes, you got to be creative, you got to get away from paper and get into the digital world and digital space of designing. All of that accepted, but what I beautifully, I remember that beautiful moment when she said that there needs to be an intellectual fee, right? You need to be recognized for your ideation, for the process, for the thoughts that you churn out. And that's when I felt that the fight is not just in India, you have players internationally as well, fighting and craving for the same, because you have lots of mediums of drawing inspiration. But I want to tell my viewers that drawing inspiration is just one part of the game. The other part is to draw inspiration and come up with a third plan, which is creative, and most importantly, it is achievable and doable. So I realized that it is really time that, all the planners, which includes a lot of my friends, not just from Bombay, but from Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Delhi, Kolkata as well, who are constantly feeling a pinch when they are not recognized as much by their clients for the creative work that they do, that it's time you reposition yourself, you start reiterating that you're not just there to manage things, but you have been doing something that is creatively inclined, and that is something that needs appreciation and recognition and a lot of faith. And yes, that will involve money as well. So I think that makes me a little more stronger in my conviction that yes, besides management, I truly want to make sure that the repositioning for not just me but planners across different cities really comes through. My final takeaway, which is something I'm very proud of, is being right place, right time. I realized that with food experts coming in, with tourism boards focusing, with wedding tourism becoming a subject of its own, with creativity being constantly the need of the hour, with how do you mix creativity with affordability being an issue, it is so imperative that we start having more focus towards people who are learned and therefore they are in the space of weddings, right? So education is more important than ever before as far as the wedding industry is concerned. Today, with ICWF doing what it did, it's brought to people's notice that there is definitely more to weddings than just wedding planning. It has truly diversified into multifolds, into areas which are truly unheard of. There is so much more to explore besides the art of being a wedding planner. So I'm excited because we are striving for exactly creating those kind of job opportunities for the youth. And this year, in fact, we've had a crazy response where, unlike last year where the focus was largely on students from Mumbai, this year we've seen a lot of students come from different parts of the country. We have students from Hyderabad, Bhubaneswar, we have somebody coming in from Surat and somebody coming in from Pune and Jabalpur. So there is so much more in this space where people actually find it worth their time and effort to come down, travel to a city and learn. I think the youth is ready for it. It's also about time that the future is bright is a message that goes out to everyone out there who is still nervous and who thinks that weddings just happen. No, they just don't happen. We create them to look like the spectacular events that they end up looking like. So yes, those are largely my 5 takeaways. I'm sure that I have really helped people who probably missed out on ICWF understand what is it that we truly could, sort of witness, learn from, and truly evolve in our respective spaces. So congratulations to the team at ICWF, and I'm looking forward to next year as well. For those of you who missed it this year, I truly recommend, if you're truly passionate about weddings and this is the space you want to be in, but you want to explore more, definitely it's a great learning ground and a great space to network. So yeah, I'm going to wind up because I have to head straight to the wedding school session. Today we're doing a session on the different stages in wedding planning, and I like to take this session personally because this is really one space which becomes the base for anybody who wants to enter the industry. So I'm going to sign off. Goodbye to everyone. Best wishes for festive season that is starting from Monday onwards. And as a friend of mine were discussing, there's just no end to festivals for the next couple of months. So Keep binging, but stay fit. No, Mr. Modi has not paid me anything for saying that, but it's really important, guys. So do your best and keep smiling. And I will catch up with all of you very soon. Bye.